Today we're gonna talk about my hero.
Nice.
Simon Sinek. He's been an inspiration for me already for 15 years. I haven't seen this video, I'm gonna react on it. It's about success.
So here's what we do. We give somebody a financial goal, we say hit that goal, right? And what we do is
I can see that I'm from his generation because when I see a flip chart, I always love the paper, the markers, and he's using that on stage. And give me a flip chart, give me a marker, and I will tell you a story.
we don't know how they got there, right? They beg, borrow, and steal. The morale on their team is, if they're doing well, it's high. When they're doing badly, it's really low. They can't hold on to employees or team members. They keep quitting or getting fired. And it's kind of a mad dash. And then on the right day, on the right time, they hit the goal, and we give that person a bonus. There's another person who's building a team. Morale is really good all the time, whether it's good times or bad. Performance is not crazy highs or lows. It's just the steady growth. The team gets along great. And at the end of the financial year, that's where they end up and they miss their goal. We don't give that person a bonus. And so what I'm starting to pay attention to is momentum, right? And how we got somewhere. Clearly this person's going to hit their goal. And
It's always good to ask questions to yourself. How did we end up there? How do we do this? Let's see what he has to say.
16 months or 17 months. But to the rest of the organization, we told them, don't do this. We told the rest of the organization, do this. So what ends up happening is we are incentivizing behavior that's actually bad for the organization and bad for the team because we make this the end-all be-all. So what I'm considering is not just were they able to hit the goal, but how's the momentum? And in reality, I want not to give this person a bonus, and I want to give this person a bonus because whatever they're doing, I want them to do more of that. Because in long term, this is way more valuable to my company than this. And it's same with my own.
Oh wow, what he is saying, and I do agree with that. If you have people that perform on a consistent level, they work with the CRM, they use a procedure, especially in sales, that you see is that some salespeople make sales a little bit like, oh, it's an art, it's so special. No, it's not. You just have to do the things that you have to do and you will get there, right? What he's saying so far, at least if I understand him correctly, is that, okay, you should incentivize people for being very consistent and do the things that they want to do, that they need to do. Even if it's so that they don't reach their targets yet, it's better to give them a bonus than those people who say, yeah, I'm very busy, yeah, I got my target. And nobody knew how they got their target. Because what I see in reality in some companies is that in some cases, it's not because of the people that are in charge in sales that they get the deals. It's sometimes despite the people who are doing the things that they have to do. Interesting.
Life. Like I'm starting to think in terms of momentum. So I don't really care what my book sales are. I genuinely don't care. What I care about, does it keep selling? Because what that means is my message is relevant enough that there's still demand for it with no marketing. I'm not out there hawking it because I know if I turn up the marketing dial, I'll see the numbers go up. I want to see, can it sustain itself? So unlike a lot of other people in my business, you can become an Amazon #1 bestseller. It's really easy. You get all of your friends to buy the book in the same hour because the algorithm recalculates
Producer, can you make a note of that? That will be very helpful.
every hour. And you can launch your own little self-published book, get all your friends to bed, and in your category, you'll be #1. And for the rest of your life,
The problem is you need to have a lot of friends, right? Perhaps that's a challenge.
you're a #1 Amazon bestseller. You can hire a company to make you a New York Times bestseller. And you only need to make the New York Times bestseller list once, 1 week. And for the rest of your life, you're a New York Times bestselling author. It's all bullshit. Or get all your friends to give you 5 stars on Amazon. You got a 5-star book and you sell 1 book a year. I don't ask any friends to write any Amazon reviews for me. I don't ask anybody to buy a book at a certain time. I've never hired a company to make me new.
It's funny because we have been on YouTube already for a couple of years, and the mistake we made in the beginning is that we said to people that we know, go to YouTube, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you hit the like button, etc. That's not how it works. We found out the hard way.
New York Times bestseller, and the reason is because I actually want to know. I actually want to know, is it really a 4.5-star book? Is it really a 2.5-star book? Have I offered the world something of value? I actually want to read the valuable criticisms.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Déjà vu. I recognize what he is saying.
Because I actually care about my long game. I want to know that the value that I'm providing can sustain without me pushing it. So in my own personal life and in my business, I'm looking for new ways to understand and measure momentum. And I'll add,
I'm struggling a little bit with the momentum, what he means with it. Let's see if he clarifies it a bit. Perhaps you know already what he means with it, because it's me, I don't know, but I'm struggling a little bit with this momentum. I do understand what momentum means, of course. I'm not stupid. Let me put it this way. I'm not stupid, I'm just slow.
one other thing, because I can't help myself. I give long answers.
That is true.
Plus, I just think this is really interesting.
That's also true.
So I've worked with the Navy SEALs, and I asked them, like, how do you pick like the guys that go on SEAL Team 6?
That would be so awesome. Yeah, I work with the Navy SEALs. I'm not a Navy SEAL, but I work with them.
Right? Because they're the best, the best, the best, the best. And they drew a graph for me. And on one side, they wrote the word performance, and on the other side, they wrote the word trust. The way they define the terms is performance on the battlefield and performance off the battlefield. So this is your skills. This is, did you make your quarterly earnings, whatever, however you want to translate it, right? Performance, it's traditional. This is...
I think I know where he's going at. That you really need to pay attention what he's going to say, I think. I know what he's going to say. And if that's the case, make sure you watch what he's saying.
How are you off the battlefield? What kind of person are you? The way they put it is, I may trust you with my life, but do I trust you with my money and my wife? They're SEALs. This is
Come on, audience, that was a good joke. You could laugh about that. It was a very good joke.
what they told me. Nobody wants this person, the low performer of low trust, of course. Of course, everybody wants this person, the high performer of high trust, of course. What they learned is that this person, the high performer of low trust, is a toxic leader and a toxic team member. And they would rather have a medium performer of high trust, sometimes even a low performer of high trust, it's a relative scale, over this person. This is the highest performing organization on the planet, and this person is more important than this person.
Wow, I really hope you pay attention here, because this is so true. Maybe you recognize it in your own organization. You have, I call them sales divas. They think they're awesome, they're great, they know exactly how to do the deals and everybody admires them. But they're a nightmare in the team. They're not team players, they don't listen, they don't work with CRM, they don't follow the process. Yes, they bring in some numbers. But what I always say, if you look at those people, if you get rid of them and just make sure that other people also can do what they have to do. And if you help them a little bit more, and if not help, but facilitate them a little bit more, you probably would do way better.
And the problem in business is we have lopsided metrics. We have 1,000,001 metrics to measure someone's performance and negligible to no metric.
If you look in sales, most of the time it's only about the target. If somebody reaches his targets, it's fine. And that's not true, because you don't know how they get their target, they don't know how they did it. Sometimes it's just because the customer really wants to have the solution. This is good stuff.
To measure someone's trustworthiness. And so what we end up doing is promoting or bonusing toxicity in our businesses, which is bad for the long game, because it eventually destroys the whole organization. The irony is, it's unbelievably easy to find these people. Go to any team and say, who's the asshole? And they'll...
Yeah, I already basically said it. You find those people everywhere, right? You really can find them. Perhaps there's also a little bit of a generation gap. I don't know. I'm 52 years old. I remember that when I started in sales, it was like, yeah, you need to sell like hell, and top performance. When I started my career, I was selling copying machines. Copying machine is a machine where you put a piece of paper. A piece of paper is something that you write on, for those who are not familiar with that. And then you put down the lid, and then you push a button, and then a copy comes out. And it was a very competitive industry. It was about hardcore selling. And that's how I grew up. What I've learned over time, that's not how it works. One of the reasons why we as a training company are very successful in sales training is that people expect a certain training, but they get something completely different. It's about personal development. It's about the beliefs that you have. It's about the so-called soft skills. But soft skills are very complicated and it's not easy to work with it, to learn, to measure it. Way more important than just reaching your targets. Interesting stuff. Interesting.
They will all point to the...
Probably doesn't matter, but I will do the same. We're not finished yet. Keep on watching.
The same person. Equally, if you go to any team and say, who do you trust more than anybody else? Who's always got your back? And when the chips are down, they will be there with you. They will also all point to the same person. It's the best gifted natural leader who's creating an environment for everybody else to succeed, and they may not be your most individual highest performer. But that person, you better keep them on your team.
So, it's not about individuals. It's about the team. Now, I'm saying that, but it also depends a little bit on your belief. How do you see the world? So it first starts with, do you understand what a belief is doing to you? How can you work with your own beliefs? And how can you work with the belief of somebody else? If you really grasp that, if you really understand that, then you can become very successful, because then you will be able to make the winning team. Then you can make high-performance sales teams. Good video. I really like this message. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.